Coming up tomorrow, we show you the unique way D.C. is honoring those historic first steps.
And we've got your front row seat to the only stand-up amputee basketball tournament in the country.
Cronkite News starts now.
Despite its harmless-sounding name, goofball is a dangerous new drug trend, with users injecting both methamphetamine and heroin that's quickly becoming popular off the tails of the opioid epidemic.
This combination is very dangerous because these highly addictive drugs mask each other's symptoms and can be fatal. According to reports from the DEA, they've seen 118% increase in meth seizures by law enforcement between 2010 and 2017.
Here in the Valley, a mother and daughter have a warning and a message of hope.
You wonder, if they're okay, if they're eating, if they're sleeping, if someone's hurting them, what clothes are they wearing?
Jennifer Prickett has seen her daughter hit rock bottom. She gets emotional when she recounts what drug addiction has done to her 24-year-old daughter, Perry.
Losing my daughter to drug use over that 14 years or 12 years has been very hard on myself and my husband.
Perry Prickett says her drug use has left more than just emotional scars.
So I started using drugs when I was about 12 years old, got into heroin at a young age of 14, and really struggled with that for the last 10 years. I'm 24 now.
But Perry says she's determined to stay clean this time. She's currently enrolled in an intensive outpatient program based here at the Scottsdale Recovery Center, where Perry is recovering from alcohol and drug abuse, including heroin and meth, a combination known as goofball.
Basically work on the dopamine receptors, and so it releases, you get a huge dump of dopamine, and dopamine is what they call the feel-good gene, or the feel-good neurotransmitter.
I would actually go to school withdrawing from heroin and meth, and that was one of the harder things I've had to deal with. It made it so I couldn't go to school. I didn't get to graduate high school because of it.
A lot of people, they do report that they call it the roller coaster, and that it'll go up and down, up and down. Most of the times, because of the counseling effect, it does allow the user to use more heroin than anticipated or than wanting to. This often leads into overdose situations.
According to a study published in the Drug and Alcohol Dependence Journal, more and more opioid users nationwide now use meth, with a 34% increase in 2017, with the greatest increases being reflected in the western part of the country.
I've had a lot of struggles. I've been homeless for the last year or so, and it's been very difficult for my family as well as myself. And I really just wanted to make a change because I knew I wouldn't survive much longer if it continued.
Just not having my daughter with me for all the fun things that we could do together as a mom and daughter.
I was just broken down so mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and the biggest thing I can say is there are people that love you. There's people that want to help you and want to see you succeed. And no matter how hard you think this is, you can do it.
Those who suffer from polydrug addiction need help healing from two separate disorders at the same time, making the road to recovery full of challenges and at times setbacks. Perry is now 51 days sober and is looking forward to continuing on her path to a new start with the support of her family, friends, and physicians.
New developments tonight on the cellar fire burning 16 miles south of Prescott. The fierce flames forcing families in Pine Flat to flee their homes last night after they were put on a ready status for evacuation earlier in the day. The fire has now spread to over 7,000 acres and is 0% contained. A tweet from Wildfire Today says 14 aircrafts, 7 hotshot crews, and 367 crew members are battling the blaze, which is just 14 miles away from the devastating Yarnell Hill fire that claimed the lives of 19 firefighters 6 years ago.
Drones made big contributions to fighting the enormous Woodbury fire, which was the 5th largest wildfire in Arizona history. But what do drones actually do to help fight fires? They can't douse flames, but they can help analyze the risk of the fire, quickly identify hot spots, and they can start fires. Wildland firefighters often start backburns to reduce brush that could fuel an oncoming blaze. Now, this new technology is changing the way crews approach wildfires, especially here in Arizona.
Whether it's from wildfire smoke, monsoon dust, or air pollution caused by cars, it can be difficult for people to breathe easily during the summertime. This is a time-lapse video we took of downtown Phoenix earlier today.
While there's no health advisories in effect right now, the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has issued 7 already this month. They say during those days, you should limit outdoor activity, especially children and adults with respiratory problems.
So the pollution in the air can affect your lungs and your airways in multiple ways. So it can cause essentially a contraction of those airways and cause difficulty breathing because your lungs are not functioning as well as they used to.
Healthcare officials also warn monsoon dust can increase people's chances of contracting valley fever, which is an easily misdiagnosed fungal infection found in Arizona and California. Ryan?
So we're looking for another hot day tomorrow. It's going to be 105 in Phoenix. It's going to hit 110 up in Bullhead City and 85 in Grand Canyon. So that looks like the best place in the Grand Canyon state for the weekend. Around here in the Valley of the Sun, it's going to be 105 and it's going to be upwards to 108. Cave Creek's going to be our low with 103, but it's going to be very sunny out there, so make sure you bring a lot of water when you go out hiking. For the rest of the week, it's going to get a little bit hotter and a little bit muggier. Starting Sunday, we're going to get more humidity coming into the valley. And then on Wednesday, we have a 40% warning of a thunderstorm happening later in the night. So be on the lookout for that. And then our high of the week will be Friday at 112. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Ryan Sundin.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Tomorrow marks 50 years since the Apollo 11 mission successfully put the first man on the moon. The event remains one of the most iconic in modern American history. In celebration, the Smithsonian Institution created a unique way to honor Neil Armstrong's historic footsteps. Julian Peraz has more from our Washington bureau.
For the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, the Smithsonian Institution wanted to recreate that sense of awe people felt back then. And what could be more awe-inspiring than a life-size rocket on National Mall? It's not a real rocket, but since Tuesday, the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 liftoff, the National Air and Space Museum has been projecting a Saturn V rocket, all 363 feet of it, on the Washington Monument.
Here down with my family, enjoying this piece of iconic American history, projected onto the Washington Monument. What could be better than that?
The display is the first part of a 3-day festival that is taking up nearly all of the National Mall, from 4th Street all the way to the monument, and will continue until tomorrow, the anniversary of the lunar landing.
What we wanted to do was really create an experience for folks. We wanted to give them the same kind of feeling of awe and inspiration and community that people felt 50 years ago when they watched Neil Armstrong take those first steps on the moon.
Massive screens are already in place to show historic clips of the moon landing. Visitors will also see a recreation of the iconic Cape Kennedy countdown clock. And even the image of the rocket is made to look as if pre-launch mist is rising off of it. One visitor who saw the Apollo 8 liftoff was impressed. But
one thing you don't get from most news clips is how loud that thing was and how bright it was when it took off. So I think it's going to be pretty cool.
But the 50th annual display is still having an effect on people who see it.
It's a lot of pride in being an American for the fact of what we can do as a country. And this is just a representation of what we can do when we come together.
Moyer said this is one of the biggest events the National Air and Space Museum has done in recent memory. And it continues through tomorrow's 50th anniversary of the moon landing. I'm the National Mall, Julian Paras, Cronkite News.
The light show is just part of the celebration at the Smithsonian. This week, it unveiled a restored version of the spacesuit that astronaut Neil Armstrong wore for the first walk on the moon. That suit has undergone 13 years of restoration and is now on display at the National Air and Space Museum, right next to a replica of the Wright brothers' 1903 flyer.
Former U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor's 1950s adobe home in Metro Phoenix is being listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Today, the National Park Service approved the nomination, describing the house as being on the nation's list of properties considered worthy of preservation. The home was originally in Paradise Valley, but moved to Tempe in 2009. O'Connor lived in the home from 1958 until 1981, when she joined the High Court.
Ability 360 in Phoenix recently hosted what's believed to be the only stand-up amputee basketball tournament in the nation.
But as our Ethan Schmidt explains, this event was a whole lot more than a trophy.
Motivate, educate, and inspire. This is the motto of Phoenix-based AMP1 basketball, created for people with amputations who want to be a part of a competitive sport. AMP1 player and coach Nick Pryor adjusted to life as an amputee after losing the bottom half of his right leg in a firearm accident when he was very young.
I was lucky enough to be, 4 years old when it happened, and when you're that age, you kind of take up and keep running with it, and I've never, it's never stopped me whatsoever.
Pryor said he started playing organized basketball as an amputee when he was 6 years old. Now he's striving to grow the game of stand-up amputee basketball. It allows those with upper or lower extremity disabilities to compete with the team.
Wheelchair basketball, only lower body disabilities can play, so it kind of excludes those people with upper extremity disabilities, but for this, it includes everybody.
It's the perfect team game, but at the same time, there are so many one-on-one aspects that you can challenge yourself individually.
We're cut from the same cloth. We have the same vision as far as not only where our lives have brought us, but also where we want our lives to go.
AMP1 takes the court right here at Ability 360 in Phoenix. These guys compete at a very high level, and basketball allows them to display their athleticism, passion, and purpose.
A lot of us have been playing basketball our whole lives compared to people that are very new to the game. But for us, it's not about the trophy. It's about trying to expand this game and get as many people here. And we want to find the best competition. We want to be pushed to our limits too.
Nick, along with the help of others, has put on America's only stand-up amputee basketball tournament at Ability 360 for 5 years and counting. This year's tournament had participants from 9 different states, including 6 players representing AMP1.
It's very interesting how we can make that work. It's with all the time differences, with from coast to coast, we got players on our team, and it's, social media is a big help to us to kind of keep each other accountable.
But going forward, the biggest goal for AMP1 is getting stand-up amputee basketball into the Paralympic Games.
I think this tournament can be looked at being the only one of its kind in the country to kind of, propel that into the talk to be a Paralympic sport.
While Pryor and AMP1 hope to see 3-on-3 stand-up amputee basketball in future Paralympic Games, 3-on-3 basketball will make its debut at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. In Phoenix, Ethan Schmidt, Cronkite News.
The Cactus Classic, which Nick Pryor's AMP1 team won just last weekend, is set to return to Ability 360 next summer.
Ability 360 is one of only 3 facilities across the country explicitly designed for people with disabilities to participate in sports and fitness.
Coming up on Cronkite News, a look back at this week's top stories, including the sentencing of Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Will his incarceration even impact the Arizona drug trade?
Apparently, the subtropical jet stream has taken a really long time to migrate to the north.
And while the clouds have certainly taken over the valley today, earlier in the week, the lack of rain had many calling the monsoon the non-soon. That story and more after the break.
All of its children had come to the Mother Church of Country Music. It was almost like a badge of honor that you had to bring your culture with you to the table. That's why Bob Wills and his guys brought us Western music. That's why Hank Williams brought the South with him from honky tonks. Johnny Cash brought the black land dirt of Arkansas. Bill Monroe brought music out of Kentucky, bluegrass music. Willie Nelson brought his poetry from Texas. Patsy Cline brought her heartache from Virginia. I mean, it was the most wonderful parade of sons and daughters of America that brought their hearts and their souls and their experiences, and it gave us a great era in country music.
Welcome back to Cronkite News in Review. Tonight, we're highlighting some of the top stories of the week.
We begin with President Trump's tweets that caused so much outrage over the weekend. The tweets were directed at 4 freshman congresswomen, all women of color. 3 were born in the U.S. and all are American citizens.
In his tweet, Trump suggested the congresswomen should, quote, go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came. Cronkite News reporter Julian Paras caught up with Arizona lawmakers in D.C. to get their reaction.
The go-home tweets targeted 4 Democratic women of color, 3 of whom were born in the U.S., and 1 who became a citizen after fleeing Somalia as a child. While Democrats quickly blasted the tweets as racist, Republicans have been mostly silent. That could change tonight when the House takes on a resolution regarding the president's remarks. There's little question how Democrats like Arizona Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick will vote.
He shouldn't be attacking members of Congress who are simply doing their job, asking for oversight and accountability and transparency. He's just trying to create a distraction.
Republicans pushed back against the resolution, which said the president's racist comments legitimized an increased fear of new Americans and people of color. Those comments came in a tweet Sunday when Trump said progressive Democratic congresswomen who criticized the U.S. should go back to the countries they came from. Trump didn't name names, but was clearly referring to Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib. The 4 have called for Trump's impeachment before and repeated those calls yesterday.
So we can either continue to enable this president and report on the bile of garbage that comes out of his mouth, or we can hold him accountable to his crimes.
Trump has not backed down, but instead doubled down, saying yesterday that if people aren't happy in the United States, they can leave.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. And that's what I say all the time. That's what I said in a tweet, which I guess some people think is controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way.
And a lot of people didn't.
We can't allow that. And we have to call him out on that. We have to call his administration out on it. And we have to, all those members of Congress that are silent on this issue need to speak up, or continue to be silent and continue to be irrelevant.
The resolution does not carry the weight of law, but merely puts Congress on record as saying comments like the president's do not belong in the U.S.
He's decided to attack my colleagues who are wonderful young women of color that make our caucus very, very diverse. And he's just doing it to distract from the job that he's not doing as president.
Hours of debate this afternoon, the House has just started voting on the resolution. And so far, it's straight party line vote. Be sure to check out cronkitenews.azpbs.org for more. In Washington, Julian Paras, Cronkite News.
The House of Representatives voted Wednesday night to table an impeachment resolution against President Trump.
95 Democrats voted to proceed on impeachment, while 332 House members voted against it.
Among the opponents were 137 Democrats, including Ruben Gallego and Greg Stanton from Arizona, both of whom have previously called for Trump's impeachment.
I want to thank those Democrats because many of them voted for us. The vote was a totally lopsided 332 to 95 to 1.
But a vote against the resolution may not be the same as a vote for Trump. We were not able to get a comment from Stanton yesterday, but Gallego's office said the Phoenix Democrat still believes in impeachment. He just thinks yesterday's resolution was not the right vehicle for it. Other Arizona Democrats who have called for impeachment. Tucson Democrats Raul Grijalva and Kirkpatrick both voted for the motion to impeach the president.
So we wanted to hear from you. We asked, do you feel like Arizona lawmakers accurately represented their constituents? Why or why not? Keith wrote, as a constituent of Ruben Gallego, I agree with his position and that of Greg Stanton, that the House should immediately open an impeachment inquiry. Jumping right to a vote without actually gathering the evidence and educating the American people would be a mistake. Another Cronkite News viewer said they did not represent him by voting no. And JLS tweeted, yes, because impeachment is a waste of time. It won't pass in the Senate. Mitch won't even allow a vote. I want Donald out of office. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way through voting and allow the courts to charge him in January 2021. It's not too late to join the conversation. Just go to our Cronkite News Twitter feed and chime in.
It's been a busy week in news. Wednesday was also sentencing day for drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The man who twice escaped from Mexican prisons will now spend the rest of his life behind bars at a Supermax facility in the United States.
Marcela Bayeto spoke with local defense attorneys about the Chapo's footprints here in Arizona.
As El Chapo's sentencing wrapped up in New York, here in Arizona, legal experts mentioned that the drug trade that passes through Arizona is much bigger than just one man. This sketch shows the moment the infamous Chapo Guzman learned today he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison, plus an additional 30 years behind bars and the ordered repayment of over $12.5 billion in drug money. A lot of that coming from drugs smuggled through southern Arizona.
There's a definite connection to federal criminal law violations alleged to have been committed here in the state of Arizona under federal law.
El Chapo, whose real name is Joaquin Guzman Loera, was convicted in February after a 3-month trial. The charges included narcotics trafficking, using a firearm for drug crimes, and participating in a money laundering conspiracy. Authorities say El Chapo is responsible for countless deaths and the trafficking of incalculable tons of drugs as head of the feared Sinaloa cartel. Tucson-based criminal defense attorney Stephen G. Rawls represented the Chapo's brother in another drug case.
Whether or not Chapo received a fair trial will be determined or assessed at the next level, which will be the Court of Appeal.
Outside the Brooklyn courthouse today, attorneys from both sides spoke about the sentencing.
Today brings a measure of justice for the American people. It brings a measure of justice for the country of Mexico, whose institutions were corrupted for decades by Mr. Guzman and the Sinaloa cartel.
You're never going to remove the stink from this verdict due to the failure to order a hearing on the misconduct of the jury in this case.
According to the U.S. Treasury Department, as of 2013, the Tucson and Phoenix areas are major shipment and distribution points for the Sinaloa cartel in the United States. And even as El Chapo will now spend the rest of his life behind bars, legal experts say not much will change in the Arizona drug trade.
But the reality is in that type of business, once the main person is gone, there's dozens of people waiting to take his place.
There's still no official word on exactly where El Chapo would be serving his sentence, but these legal experts did mention that most likely it will not be here in Arizona. At the digital desk, Marcela Bayeto, Cronkite News.
Right now, active duty troops on the southern Mexico border are carrying out welfare checks on detained migrants.
We first reported this yesterday. The welfare checks are primarily happening at stations in Texas and Arizona. 2 U.S. defense officials told CNN the troops are periodically monitoring migrant well-being and reporting suspicious violent or medically related unresponsive behavior. The new welfare role marks a departure from their original mission on the border.
When troops first deployed, Pentagon officials stressed military personnel would not be in direct contact with migrants.
Our final big story from this week, the monsoon.
Even though the Arizona monsoon begins in June every year and lasts through September, we still haven't seen any serious storms strike. So some are calling it the non-soon.
And like many of you, we wanted to know, where is the rain? So Cronkite News reporter Tanaya Williamson decided to find out.
Now, I've enjoyed riding around and not have to worry about the rain that comes from the monsoon. But, today I went and I spoke with the National Weather Service to find out what the rain might look like for us going forward. Arizona is known for having a dry heat. It's also known for its monsoons that around this time of year would usually be in abundance. But we haven't seen too many this year so far. Why is that?
Well, to make a long story short, it's been too dry.
James Sawtell is a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Phoenix.
Apparently, the subtropical jet stream has taken a really long time to migrate to the north, so The result is we've had a lot of recurring dry westerly to southwesterly flow.
No monsoons at this point means a shortage of the rain we'd usually see this time of year.
30% of our annual rainfall falls during the monsoon season.
Monsoon season starts in June and ends in September. Those who deal in monsoon preparedness say it will come and it's wise to be ready.
We encourage those who live in the valley to prepare for monsoon during this time. It is going to be here soon, so as we wait for it, we are encouraging folks to prepare a go kit with really everything that you think you would need, like a flashlight, water, batteries, to really make sure that you have what you need throughout a potential outage during a storm.
It is good to be safe and prepared. According to the National Weather Service, we could see a high of 115 degrees today. And if we do, that'll be the hottest day of the year so far. Reporting live in Phoenix, Tanai Williamson, Cronkite News.
You can share these Cronkite News and Review stories with your friends and family by going to our website.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. We'll talk about a reaction from Arizona's congressional delegation to the president's attacks on Democratic House members, and a move to designate Tucson as a sanctuary city makes it to the November ballot.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, I sit down with Iran's foreign minister as tensions with the U.S. escalate. That's Friday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
I'm Anne-Marie Slaughter, the CEO of New America. We're a distinctive community of problem solvers and storytellers who are committed to American renewal. I'd like to invite you to watch our new show, Innovating the Future, a joint production with Arizona State University. We'll talk with experts, analysts, and activists